take this pain of mine, but with you I feel alright. Cause girl, you make me numb. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Side effect amnesia from your chapstick kiss on mine. You're my own sangria, you make me forget my lines. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. I had my heart burned to ashes, couldn't let it go, till I buried Cupid's hatchet, and it came up a rose. Now I'm falling in the hospital, got drunk off of a wishing well, turn our bed into a casket, let's overdose. And no amount of time can take this pain of mine, but with you I feel alright. Cause girl, you make me numb. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Side effect amnesia from your chapstick kiss on mine. You're my own sangria, you make me forget my lines. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Number 5. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Side effect amnesia from you running through my mind. And you know I need you, you're my favorite kind of high. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Girl, you make me numb. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Side effect amnesia from your chapstick kiss on mine. You're my own sangria, you make me forget my lines. You got anesthesia in your shirt, now number 5. Number 5. Girl, you make me numb. In your shirt, now number 5. Girl, you make me numb. No one really likes you until you start flying in coach. No one really likes you until life's a Drake video. If I came with commas, with the drama just go.
Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League for a Wednesday night matchup between Lightspeed and the Thunderbirds. It should be a very good matchup to start off an action-packed night, and I am joined in the booth by the one and only Puggles. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing really good. I'm looking forward to all of the games tonight and all of the leagues. But we're kicking it off here on Wednesday, like you said, with Lightspeed and Thunderbirds, and this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup to say the least. Pepperoni.
Yeah, it sure is. These teams kind of on different ends of the spectrum in terms of record. Lightspeed coming in at 2-5, having lost on Monday in a game 5, And then on the other side of things, Thunderbirds 5-2, having beat Galaxy 3-1. So kind of different side of things to look at it. Lightspeed much needed of a win right now, and Thunderbirds, they're a tall task to take down. If you could run through the rosters real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start off with Thunderbirds here, as we have Val, Steel, and Veal or Veal Tech. And then over on Lightspeed, we have Mythic, Kaiser, and Hayden. Like you said, Lightspeed, they are 2-5 right now, recently losing to the Knights 3-2. But when we saw Thunderbirds last on stream is when I casted them, and they did lose to Knights 3-2. So Knights, a tough opponent to try and take on for both of these rosters. So yeah, I mean, when Thunderbirds played, they definitely did not look their best, and they looked very beatable. So Lightspeed, the records, they may not show it, but Lightspeed definitely has a really good chance of taking this series here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Thunderbirds very comfortably on top of their division, while Lightspeed, they need some help here. And a win over a big team like Thunderbirds, it would go a long way later in the season. These games right now you got to pick up because you never know how close you'll be to just barely missing the cut to make the postseason. And looking at game score, Thunderbirds 17-12, Lightspeed 9-16. That is pretty much, that's not a good thing to see for Lightspeed. So who's got to be the guy for you to get it rolling early? Because it looks like they don't win very many games. They either win the series or they get blown out.
Yeah, the player has to be Mythic. He is the highest MMR player on that roster. So you really got to look to him to see if he can step up and take control of it. Or you got to look to his other two teammates, Kaiser and Hayden. Hopefully, we see some sparks from them. We see some passing plays, something to help them, prove that this isn't just, a team that wins close and loses in an absolute blowout. But over to Thunderbirds, I mean, they have that standout player being Val. He is currently the second most in total score and assists throughout the entire rival league right now. So he's definitely the standout player for Thunderbirds. Got to watch out for him, setting up his teammates for success. And I mean, if you're Lightspeed, you just got to have three good players that will shut down Val and all the opportunities he's going to create for his roster.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Valence is pretty much the standout player. When you look at both rosters, that's the guy you think of. Okay, he's the mechanical player, and he's going to lead the way for his team. So Thunderbirds, they're right behind him. The three-time All-Star, three-time runner-up, I think one-time champion in Valence. So we'll see who can answer him on the other side of things as Lightspeed look to bring them down. And as we do wait for the last few people to get in the lobby, not sure who we're missing here. I think we have the Thunderbirds, so it might be just Lightspeed that we're missing. But hopefully we can get them in a timely manner, because I know we got an action-packed night. A lot of us with busy schedules, and a game like this, we cannot wait to get under our belts. And the Rival League, good place to start off, but we'll do a little preview for the rest of the stream, because I know we got some good ones on tonight, as I think we go to the Challenger League, and we finish off in the Prospect League. We got some banger matchups. Next up, we have Raptors undefeated, 7-0, taking on 4-3 Motion. That's a good one to keep it rolling. And Melon 6-1, taking on 7-0 Warhawks. So the sooner we get this rival matchup out of the way, the sooner we can get some bangers down the road, Buggles.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're a Challenger player, so you could speak more to the 8:45 game coming up after this. But as a Prospect player, I know both of these teams. Melons 6-1 right now. I know they lost on Monday to a bit of an upset, so they're looking to bounce back. And Warhawks, they've been cruising ever since the start of this season. So really got to look to them to try and continue their momentum. And I mean, I know you know more than me about Challengers, so I'll let you talk about that 8:45 game here.
Yeah, I know the Raptors are absurd. I think they've lost like one or two games total, but we'll let it come down the road as we finally have everybody in the lobby and we can get this rival matchup, the highest ranked league matchup of the night, out of the way first, as Lightspeed and Thunderbirds will duke it off. First day of the new season. We'll see who's been grinding on the new map and whatnot, but early possession goes right to the arms of Kaiser. And interesting rotations here as he has to go for a bump. Not much more than net to deal with, but it will be dealt with. But no boost here for Steel. Misses the mid boost and gets demoed from behind either way. And Valence going to put a kind of a threatening shot on target, but not too much for Kaiser to deal with, as Inverse will take it the length of the field. plenty of boost, but gets dunked out very early in the midfield. And kind of some pressure building here for the Thunderbirds. Kind of expect them to lead the pack early on. Let's see if they can maintain pressure, or if we can see what we're seeing right now. And that's Lightspeed making some plays, but there's an early shot from Valence. Bit of an overcommit there, Puggles, but an early goal for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, a bit of an overcommit, like you said, and I just got word in that Inverse is a sub in, or a free agent sub for Lightspeed, as one of their players could not make it tonight. So, Inverse, we're gonna have to see how Lightspeed adapts around Inverse and see, how these guys play together and see if they can manage to band together this one time to upset this top roster and rival.
Yeah, and it looks like Hayden was the guy that was unable to make it. So his team kind of doing what they can to fill in the missing piece. We'll see how they can fare against a very talented team in the Thunderbirds. As early pressure finally going towards Lightspeed's way. And maybe they can answer an early goal back, but a whiff does come through. And now Kaiser has to deal with this. Last back does a good job of doing so. And Valence with the whiff relieves a lot of the pressure. Kaiser with the flick over one, but Steele was ready for it all the way. And Valence will pop it in midfield, but Inverse not looking like a sub too early on as he dusts out the early challenger. And Kaiser, hard pinch off the sidewall. And not much, I can't even tell you who's favored in this game right now in terms of pressure. They're kind of taking turns, 10 seconds on each side of the field, and then rotate.
Yeah, it really is a battle of the midfield right now. No team is really establishing enough pressure to suffocate a roster on either side. So we're really looking forward to seeing how this develops as, Lightspeed, they're finally starting to get something on this blue half, but, the one demo comes through and just unfortunately they don't have the boost control to continue up the pressure here.
Yeah, and Kaiser, he's been the guy so far on defense. Feel like he's always third man, making the save. And Mythic, he's going to get his name in that conversation as well. As Steele looking for a ground pinch, gets it. Kind of an awkward defensive situation here. Kaiser goes up backwards and does the best he can, but it's right to Valence, who tries to get it midfield. But all three Lightspeed players kind of in the same spot. That was probably not going too far, as Vel almost misses out and costs his team a goal right there, but good rotations will fix it. And I know I'm not the only one having trouble with the whole Val thing, but I think Val, what's his name? Valatic? Yeah, Valatic
yeah.
And Valence. So that's a little bit of a, make it hard on us, but you can appreciate the team chemistry in the Vels, as Vel is going to try to get past to a teammate, a little back pass to relieve the pressure. And Kaiser, he's going to go no boost and just run off the whole defense.
Yeah, just a great play here from Kaiser as Vel puts it off the corner there, and none of his teammates ready to react. Kaiser just has to beat one, and he just puts it into the back of the net. It's really just as easy as that. Nobody from Thunderbirds quite ready for the offensive pressure there.
Yeah, that seemed like a lot of boost management coming into play, as all three players were unable to keep up with Kaiser, who had just 12 boosts and made it happen. So nice way to tie the game early on, as a double commit does come through. Valence has a shot, but cannot get just enough around the ball to put it on target. And Mythic will clear at the end of the pitch, the way of the pitch, but not as far as the Thunderbirds backline is doing a pretty good job, other than that one slip up of keeping everything in front of them. Valence will dunk out one and make Mythic make a play on the ball here. Pass midfield, right to Steele, the one hopper into the top shelf, and a nice Thunderbirds passing play will get him back on top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, great shot here, especially from Vel, passing it infield. Steele just has to beat one, and he does. And, Vel, he was looking for that earlier in the game, and nobody was there for his team to quite put it away. But this time, Steele is there to put it home, and it's a great goal here from Thunderbirds as they look to continue their pressure on in this game.
Yeah, and Lightspeed, a little bit of a slip up there, not ready for the infield pass, and a good read by, I think, by Valatek to get it there to his teammate, and a nice shot. So a minute left to go here as Kaiser flicks it over one. Valatek misses the corner boost. Now he's full boost anyway, but it doesn't matter as the flick comes through. Two people faking on each side, and kind of a weird situation where a missed opportunity if the attacker had made contact, as the goalie did whiff. Now Inverse has to take it the width of the pitch here as time does tick away. But Steele, he is ready for that. And very slow rotations coming through here for a team in Lightspeed being down a goal with a minute left to go. Kaiser looking to do something on his own, looking for the bump, cannot get it as Valence in a prime position to make the save, and Puggles what do they have to do to make it happen now? Because they've kind of been held scoreless since that 1v3 by Kaiser.
Yeah, they really just need to set up some pressure here as we look into the last 30 seconds. You know, maybe try and find each other. I know they're playing with a free agent sub up here. So, you know, something just has to give for this for this Thunderbird defense in order for Lightspeed to really get a goal here.
Yeah, as time ticks away, this is the time they need to do it, and Kaiser, he will finish it off. It's chaos in the net, as basically everybody from the Thunderbirds on the wrong half of the field, they're up a goal, no need to score, but they have every single person on the ball, and Kaiser will easily punish that, as we have overtime on our hands, unless we can see some interesting kickoff strategies here, as two people go for the Thunderbirds. A nice clear by Valatek will keep it in. And kind of just trying to kill time here as Valence pops it to the sky, and I think that will do it for regulation. And we head to overtime here in Game 1. What's going to be the series prediction, Pug? I didn't get it. Before we have a winner, let me get it from you.
Oh, okay. Series prediction has to go to it has to go to Thunderbirds. You know, they're not playing with the sub. They got their full lineup. But I think this overtime could honestly go both ways. It just really depends if Thunderbirds will make a mistake like they have twice so far, and if they play solid, I think they're just gonna beat out this Lightspeed defense, like we've been saying all night.
You're not wrong. It's what a pass from Valence. Look at the redirect off sidewall as Kaiser had to make a touch, and Valatek right where that ball needed to be is where he's gonna find himself and slot it top bins. And Thunderbirds making you look smart right after you finish your point. And they're going to take Game 1, and it wasn't the most convincing game, but you still feel like the Thunderbirds were the better team in Game 1.
Yeah, they really did. They looked better. I mean, everyone on their roster got on the score sheet here. Everyone's scoring, and yeah, I mean, Thunderbirds, they look like a whole roster. Lightspeed, they capitalized over, you know, the Thunderbird mistakes, which props to them. If Thunderbirds are going to give up easy mistakes, then that's what you need to do. But I mean, moving forward here, Lightspeed, they need to find some goals on their own. You know, we saw Thunderbirds, they had two amazing passing plays that resulted to goals. And I mean, the more and more that you can get those passing plays, the more and more and easier it is for you to score. So we're looking for Lightspeed to try and get some of that connection, try to get that chemistry going into Game 2 here.
Yeah, I feel like they have to control the midfield more in front of their own net. They can't just sit in net and sit on backboard, because guys like Valatek and Valence, they are prime for that situation to dump it off to a teammate and beat your entire defense in the blink of an eye. So we'll see what they fix defensively and what they fix on the offensive side of things, because I feel like both goals are kind of just Thunderbirds messing around and not having normal rotations and giving away a kind of a weird goal to Kaiser both times. We'll see what happens as Valence guides us to the sidewall and is able to get back to it. Not enough boost to double this, and a teammate does commit, so we'll see what the counterattack has in store here as a big clear comes through, but Steele is first to that ball, and right to the waiting arms as Valence booms it downfield. Demo in the net as Steele does get the demo, and Valatek trying to make something happen, but kind of just defensive rotations here so far from the Thunderbirds. Not looking to overcommit as Steele almost off the crossbar and in, but it could be crossbarred out instead. Is almost a slot coming through, but it will not find the back of the net as Steele dumps it off to Valence, and that's what we've been seeing all night as the Thunderbirds are clearly showing how they plan to win the series.
Wow, Steele, he missed that first one, but this great pass over to Valence, just able to slot it right over him. The defender, he had to get a touch, and he had to get up quick, and he failed to do either. And now, you know, Lightspeed, they're looking at an 0-1 deficit right now in Game 2. They need to score. They need to come back, and right now it just looks like Thunderbirds are running all over them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, as the passing plays have been the recipe for success. As, I mean, the survey said 38-8 Thunderbirds, so clearly the favorites are showing out right now. As Valatek puts it way downfield, Steele tries to get there, and Valence with the crossbar down. It's just clinical right now from Thunderbirds, and Valence is leading the charge.
Yeah, Valence once again striking early, as, you know, just right off the crossbar there, waiting for the ball to bounce to a prime position. And Steele, you know, you got to respect the play. You know, he was trying to go up, get that crazy double, but unfortunately not able to hit it. But I think it faked out the defenders there. There's Valence trying to hit another one, and Steele's sitting in the middle for an open net.
Looks like you've fallen victim to the Val trick, because that was Valitech almost with a double. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if Valence put that one away, but either way, another assist coming for a goal as Thunderbirds, they're rocking on all cylinders right now. And Lightspeed, they need to slow down the pace of play and go back to their play style. Having a sub or not, it shouldn't affect the way they're leaving their net open in situations like that where one pass comes through and it's a goal instantly. Is a big clear comes through and Inverse is that sub up, doing a pretty solid job here so far. As a clear comes out, Kaiser enough boost to play the 1v1, looks for the fake and a nice read by Steel, 1v1, and he makes it happen for his team.
Yeah, the 1v1, coming in clutch, sorry. Not able to find it though, is, that's really just how these goals have been going in for Lightspeed, is that the 1v1s and the mistakes off of the Thunderbirds back end, and eventually it's just not going to work anymore as we are in this rival league. We need to see something change. I noticed that they're going for more demos now, and that seems to have stopped the bleeding, but they still have yet to score this pivotal game too.
And I'm loving to see the demos come out from Steel. We've seen a few now. We'll see if they can convert this one into a goal. As Steel looking for the shot, but a booming clear comes through from Mystic. Valence will do his best to keep it in, but Mystic is all over this play. And he does not want that ball on his side of the field. But yet it will linger once more as the offensive firepower is so oppressive right now from the Thunderbirds. A couple whiffs come through. Awkward situation in the midfield. It will work out for Lightspeed as they have a little bit of pressure here. A good beat from Kaiser. But Valitech right in the way to cut that off. And Mystic, he's going to pop this up with Steel right where he needs to be to make the touch. And Inverse will try to keep it in, but Steel once again going to clear it the length of the pitch. And time taken away very quick here, Puggles. And we are yet to see any offense come through from Lightspeed.
Yeah, Lightspeed currently only sitting at 3 shots in the entire game so far, as another passing play almost coming through for the Thunderbirds, as they're just giving this midfield up in the front of their net for free. And in order for them to really just break out and stop getting scored on, they need to shut that down. As Val, almost again, Val this time off the crossbar, not able to find it. But I mean, at this point, it really doesn't seem like it matters that much if they scored or not. It's just staying in this red half.
Yeah, their comms are hilarious right there. As everybody says I got it and nobody scores it as multiple crossbar doinks. But either way, they're just killing time no matter what. As you can see, practically freestyling at this point. And it doesn't matter as Lightspeed, they can't find the back of the net right now. And Valence has boost to work with. This is a scary situation. Backboard defender and a jumper from the net will make a 2-on-1 come out in favor of Lightspeed. But not enough to put anything meaningful on target right now as Inverse here's it to the corner. Not as far as Steel. Another shot will come through and Valence, he'll get a little lucky on the crossbar down, but we'll call it a double tap 4-0 for Thunderbirds.
Yeah, the Thunderbirds definitely running away with this game. So, I mean, the crossbar has really been one of the best defenders for this Lightspeed roster so far today, and I mean, that's not a great statement, especially here in Rival, but we look forward to the Game 3 where hopefully they change, hopefully they figure something out, because, this could just end up being a series where they get washed away or they keep it close, and that's something that this team has done so much so far. As, Lightspeed, they're going to get one off of, could you guess, another Thunderbirds mistake.
Valence, we'll let it slide. He's at the top of the scoreboard pretty much 24/7, so we'll allow it just for him. But yeah, you're right. You have to wonder, would you lose a close overtime game in Game 1? It feels like a lot of the times we see these teams kind of just crumble after missing out on their opportunity to make a real claim at the series. And what part of this is they're just tilted? They lost their best chance in Game 1, and now they're getting blown out in Game 2. What can they do going into Game 3? They have to reverse sweep against one of the top teams in the rival league in a red-hot Valence.
Yeah, they just need to shore up their defense. As of right now, the ball, it's just staying on the Lightspeed side, and every time that it gets out of the Lightspeed side, it's either going through, it's like off of another kickoff because it went into their net, or they get it out to the midline and it crosses for like less than 10 seconds. It hardly sees any other play in this blue half so far. And honestly, you just need to shore up that midfield defense. Make sure you cut down those midfield passes right away, and try and shut down Val, and Steele, because these guys are finding each other. If you shut that down, you're going to be in a great spot to work to build something out of the defensive end. Try and get some counterattacks, and try and get some nicer goals.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Is right now, it seems like Thunderbirds, they kind of make one touch and then they follow it up really quick, and that's about as easy as it gets. As Steele just puts it ground level, and he recognizes that the backboard defender, not backboard, that backboard defender just jumped. That was an easy shot to put it away 1v1, and Steele, he's a shooter and he gets it done. But if you see Thunderbirds pop a ball up, you better either get there really fast or wait for the ball to come to you, because they are so fast on their follow-ups on these aerial plays. The double commit coming through, but Steele, he'll go down very quickly, and recognizing the harm if they both went, as Valence clears it to the side. Kaiser doesn't get the pinch to the midfield to follow it up, and now Steele with the counterattack shot, and Mythic, probably been the standout player for the Lightspeed defense so far in the series. I don't think they need defense right now. They need to find the back of the net, as they've been really scoreless the last 2 games. Because that goal at the end there is kind of just a Valence donation. But we'll see who can be the catalyst. I think it has to be Kaiser right now. I don't know what you think about that. It feels like if Kaiser's not scoring, there's not much hope. And Kaiser, he has a chance to do it, and right on cue, as Lightspeed will tie it up.
Yeah, Kaiser, he's been the goal scorer so far this entire series for Lightspeed, and he's able to find it once again. But I mean, like you said, if Kaiser's not scoring, it really just seems like Lightspeed isn't scoring. The other 2 players not able to find the back of the net consistently, as Kaiser has done it most games here. I don't know if he did the last game, but he's averaging about 1 goal a game right now, which is far and beyond what any of his other teammates are doing on the offensive end here.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do, as 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here, and they find themselves in a tie game once again. Let's see if they can have a different outcome as game 1, and bring us to maybe an important game on Forbidden Temple. We'll see how it goes, as Steele, not enough boost to reach it, and Mythic looking for a little offense to help out Kaiser in the shooting category, but can't get it done. Valatek's going to leave it for Steele, who cannot make contact, and Valence goes as third man, but does get a piece of it. We'll see what Inverse can do here as he pops to the sky, and Steele will boom it downfield to the waiting arms of Valence. Valence off the backboard, a whiff comes through, but Steele decided to go for the corner boost steal instead of hitting the open net. Kind of an unfortunate situation. He trusted the goalie, and it would have been a goal if not. Kaiser doesn't make the read. Valence has an open net, and he hits the crossbar, probably for like the 4th time in the series, as the Valence crossbar strikes again. And now Valatek off the crossbar. It's not real. It's just the Val name. It hits crossbar every time. And you got to take a breath of fresh air here if you're Lightspeed, because you should be down multiple goals. But Thunderbirds are keeping them in it, and Kaiser looking for the double. Doesn't have the boost to follow. And Steele trying to get it out of his half. Does a pretty good job of doing so, and Mythic has to put the 50 Valence one-on-one against Kaiser. Can he get it done? Gets it past 2 people. Valence, he's the 1v2 madman, and he gets it done again.
Wow, Valence just taking his time, realizing that Inverse has to rush in to get back on defense. 50's the Kaiser in front of the net, gets the ball right back in. Inverse just whizzes right across the screen on him, and what a play from Valence. Realized he had all the time, realized he had all the power in that situation, and now puts his team up 2-1. And this is where Thunderbirds, they can look for more goals, but if they overcommit, they're gonna get scored on every time here. They just gotta keep that solid rotation, keep a cool head. Even though they dominated that last game, that doesn't mean that... Oh, that's disgusting. That doesn't mean that they're gonna dominate once again in this game.
Yeah, just in case anybody thought it was cliche to say Valence is going to be the catalyst for their success, I think Buggles has been proven pretty much exactly correct. Is another top of the scoreboard performance for Valence in a game or series deciding game. Steele bangs it downfield. Valatek with a little fake and leaves it for Valence. We love donating to the Valence charity, as another one finds the back of the net in Lightspeed. They're just reeling for some air right now.
Yeah, Valence decided to round up to the next dollar, give it over to Val, and he's looking at another one. He's 1 goal away from another hat trick in this series. He got one in game 1 here. Let's see if we can get it here in game 3. This could possibly close it out as long as Thunderbirds hold on to this lead. Lightspeed can't find any more offensive pressure. This ball is going to get a little tap towards the net there, but gets easily saved away from this from the blue half.
I'm taken away very quickly here. A minute left to go, and this series is all but over. And it just seems like Valence is in his bag, and both his teammates are doing their parts as Valence almost gets a huge dunk right to the net. It will stay out for now, but I don't know if that's really what matters as the assault continues, and Valence is just too fast. And there's the hat trick you were looking for. Another one coming through. And this is the MVP Valence we've been waiting to see.
Yeah, it is, as he does get his hat trick once again, and Thunderbirds look amazing right now, up 4-1, just like last game. 40 seconds remaining. I mean, this is gonna feel like either an eternity or the world's fastest 40 seconds, depending on which side you're on. Lightspeed, you know, they put up a fight here, but unfortunately, it really just is not going to be enough to take down this full roster, Thunderbirds roster, that's currently going to go up to 6-2 on the week.
Yeah, this is the one kind of lopsided match tonight in terms of records. You had to just hope we would get it to Game 5, but I think we'll have plenty of bangers down the road tonight as we have multiple undefeated teams looking to keep their claims at a perfect season. As Kaiser, just a little desperation clear downfield, but it will be completely meaningless as the Thunderbirds will dominate the series. You have to feel for Lightspeed playing with the sub. It definitely made a difference because this was not the team we've seen all season, but the Thunderbirds really just too much to handle. And shout out to Valence, who just took that series over. And you can tell who the fastest player on the pitch was tonight.
Oh yeah, you could. Valence going crazy on the scoreboard, doing everything that he needed to do. And now they look to next week where they're going to have some tougher competition, and you gotta wait and see if they're gonna be able to hold up there. But I mean, after today, I'm pretty sure that they have a pretty good chance of locking up their at least their division here, maybe even a top 2 spot moving into playoffs. But that is unfortunately a little ways down the road here, as we have well, first off, we have the rest of the tonight to get to here, as we have that challenger game coming up next year, Pepperoni.
Yeah, we sure do. And before we head down to the two lower leagues that we finished tonight off on, I think Pineapples get a 3-1 win over Bearcats, and Vortex with a 3-0 destruction of Whiteout. So we've seen some upsets in the rival league tonight, but Thunderbirds, they're not going to fall prey to that as they get the win. And it's been an honor casting tonight with you, Puggles, as we do have not much time to hand it over to the Challenger League, where this is probably the matchup of the night. We do have another undefeated team at 9:30. But this is the Raptors team that is completely unbeatable right now. So we'll see if that can change. It's been a pleasure, Puggles, but we'll see y'all all in the next matchup.
Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly night and day, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly, yeah. Stars,
Voila. Pantera.
They put a line in the Titos, went down in Puerto Rico. And I may not know the lingo, but I like when you call me gringo. I don't know what you're saying, cause I don't speak your language. But how your body's swaying, that don't need no translation. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be singing Mamacita. Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be singing Mamacita. La 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 la. Hey, can you help me practice how to kiss in your accent? Can you be my translator down here at the equator? I think I'll move my flight, stay here another night. I know that I'm saying it wrong, but darling, it feels so right. Hey, señorita, I know Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. Hey, señorita, I know Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. La 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 la.
Oh, I'ma call you papi, papi. The way you make me move, don't wanna stop it, no, no. Take it easy on the talkie. I'm starting to feel ya, it's not just tequila. Don't really care how you speak it, just wanna know what you drink, yeah. Estamos calidad dilemma, no entiendo, pero no problema, yeah. Oh, la, why don't we vamos a mi casa? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Body language translator, yeah. Oh, la, why don't we vamos a mi casa? Yeah. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Yeah. Body language translator.
Hey, señorita, I know Spanish speaker. Hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. Hey, señorita, I know Spanish speaker. Hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. La 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 la, la la la, la la.
I like the way, yeah. Mamacita.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. That's right, we are back for our second match of the night, and we are tiptoeing our way into the Challenger League, where we have the 4-3 motion going up against the undefeated Raptors, which I'm trying to remember. I got a terrible memory, I'm sure you know, but Raptors won the championship last season. I hope I didn't mess that up.
Yeah, you are correct.
All right, cool. And
Yeah.
right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my co-host in the booth tonight. Gallum, not my co-host. That's kind of a weird thing. My co-caster, I should say.
Yeah.
My co-caster. Gallum, how you doing, buddy?
And I'm doing all right, Psycho. You know, I saw that I was casting a Raptors game, and I got excited because I honestly think out of all the Challenger teams, I think the Raptors are my favorite to cast because they're just so exciting. Every single Raptors game that I've casted, which has been like, this is probably my third, has been just like super exciting. So I'm just excited to get into it. And Psycho, I think you know who both these teams have on their roster.
Yeah, and the Raptors returning champions, but I'm not sure how much of the roster's returning. I feel like it's a completely new roster. Looking at it, we have I'm gonna mess this up. Boxel, Blah. They rounded. Maybe the sub or not, but the lowest MMR is Jake, and Smegalodon, the big homie in management, is also on the undefeated Raptors. And then on the other side, we have Motion that's coming in with Egg Tip TM, Shawnee X Galaxy, the longtime Nemesis homie Inverse, and to round that one off, they've got their GM as well, Big C Dubs. So this is a battle of GMs. It just dawned on me. I didn't realize that they were both in Challenger League. I thought C Dubs was still in Prospect, but he moved up. Congrats, Big C.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So a little about these two teams. So Egg Dip and Smegalodon. So Egg Dip plays obviously for Motion. He's 4th in the league for goals right now, which is pretty insane. So dude is absolutely goated, absolutely cracked. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, on the Raptors side, Smegalodon is 6th for goals. So we got some pretty good leaders up here. And as this game is underway, I know you always ask me for predictions, but what's your prediction, Psycho?
To be honest, it's hard to say. I mean, I think, excuse me, I think logically it's going to be Raptors. I haven't seen too much Challenger League play this season. Unfortunately, I've been, most of the time the Challenger's been on stream. I've been having to do something else. So I'm not sure who's doing big, but Big C Dubs is doing big right here, right now. 30 seconds into game 1. Motion's going to take the first lead of the series.
Yeah, a big goal coming out. A little unfortunate defense coming out from the Raptors. Not a great way to start the game, but C-Dub's just putting it in with the new Battle Pass card. You love to see it.
Which Battle Pass card is that? You have to point it out to me. You said Big C-Dub's using. I haven't got a chance to look at it.
I forget what the car's name is. I think the Battle Pass just dropped today. So forgot what the car's called, but it looks cool. Oh my gosh, what a chance there. But yeah, these two teams, crazy. Wow, crazy
huge
start.
Hit. Huge shot from him. Smegalodon coming out, wanting to tie things up as quickly as possible. A minute gone from game number 1. As it's passed down, Smegalodon looking like he went to leave it, but he's got to challenge it anyways to beat out Motion in the midfield. Boxel sends it all the way down. That one almost on net, but he can't get to the double inverse. Going to beat him out in front of Motion's net. Big C-Dubs with the 50, trying to keep it away from Motion's net. Big C-Dubs looking for the clear. A bit of a miscommunication comes out as both of those Motion members pull off the ball. Blah with the shot that's going to go high. Egg to take it away. Boxel putting it back on, but Big C-Dub's going to go up and get the touch there. Smegalodon to pop it up. Egg going to stick with it. And Blah to send that one out of Raptors defensive zone. 3 minutes left on the clock so far here, Gallium. And, I mean, Motion is surprising me right now. They are doing a very good job holding this lead against Raptors.
And as you say that, a shot
Caster's
is going to
curse.
creep
Oh my
on in
gosh.
from Smegalodon. Old man is going to score that one.
That's a yikers, man. That came out right perfectly. Wow, Smegalodon able to clean that one up for the Raptors, taking the lead away from Motion. We got a tie ball game in the first half still of game number 1. Egg gets the demo, the double commit coming out from Motion, and Blah is going to send that away in the midfield. Big C-dubs there for the touch. Inverse gets a double, but doesn't get it the double he's looking for. Egg to send that all the way down. Big C-dubs doesn't see the pass. Turns a little bit too late, but he's still there. They're trying to sustain some pressure. And Boxel taking that away. Inverse to keep it. Smegalodon is up, but he can't get the touch. No. Inverse gonna put a lofty shot straight over him.
Shout out to Inverse's flip cancel there. That was beautiful. But the pop shot just sneaking into that bottom right corner. Little unfortunate, obviously, for this defense. And honestly, all the goals that have been scored so far have just been, I think, defensive miscues. So in order for a team to really take a stake in the series or start to really dominate, I'm going to have to see some offensive pressure. And I expect to see that from either team, to be honest. I think both these teams are coming out hot, and they're firing on all cylinders here, Psycho.
Yeah, possibly a little stream nerves going on in game number 1 here. I'm not sure which of these teams, if either of these teams have been streamed yet this season, but it's not uncommon to see the first stream for a team that play a little bit nervous in the first game. Typically, it subsides by the second game. You get used to, the fact that you're being watched by, 30 to 60 people, and you just get back into playing your game. Both of these teams battling for pressure. Egg with the pop in the mid. Blah is there, gets the touch down to Smegalodon, but he can't beat out. Big C-dub's gonna bounce off the crossbar. Egg with the shot, and Buxel with a huge save on the goal line. Blah just doing everything that he can to get it out of Raptors zone. The ball gets missed. Egg gonna back pass Inverse, looking to take control here off of the ceiling, but can't get the follow. Boxel's there, gets a flip reset, but holds the set. Maybe he didn't have it. It looked like he might have. It's going to get cleared away regardless. 60 seconds left on this clock. Smegalodon Motion still holding this 2-1 lead against the undefeated Raptors. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with this Motion team so far. And I think if they want to take this Raptor team down, I feel like we're going to have to come out of the gates strong game 1. And that's exactly what we're seeing from them so far. In total, we have 6 shots on net for Motion. And on the opposite side of the ball, we have 7 for Raptors. So both teams actually getting a lot of shots in. And honestly, these shots are being well defended on both sides.
Fully agree there, but will Raptors be able to break through the Motion defense in the final 20 seconds of game 1? Or will Motion be able to secure a game 1 win against the Raptors? 10 seconds left on the clock. Buxel looking to try and get something going. Blah's there, keeping the pressure alive. Smeg is up, but he can't get the touch. It doesn't matter. Buxel comes in at the final second to clean up the play. We are tied, ready to go into overtime.
Psycho, I'm so disappointed in you that you didn't say this is Rocket League. That was the perfect opportunity. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But anyway, just this amazing goal. Sorry for calling you out there. But just amazing goal from Raptors. Obviously, the 50 up there, C-Dubs gets 50'd, and I think that's what starts the whole play. Just gets the whole play in motion, and everything from then on is just great work. And going into overtime here, I need to get your predictions, Psycho.
Man, it is really hard for me to call it out, but I'm a dude that goes for the little guy every time. I'm gonna go with Motion. No disrespect to the Raptors. I think that they're playing a great game. I just think that Motion really wants to give them their first loss, and they're technically the underdog according to their record. So I'm going to go with them. Oh, my goodness. Inverse with a huge shot, but it bounces off of the post. That could have been it. 40 seconds in, And this is some pretty high octane stuff so far. Inverse with the pop-up, but this could be dangerous. Smegs there can't get the touch to put it on net. Boxel not able to get it through either. Blah is back as Inverse gets another long ball on net. Smegalodon to pop it up. 60 seconds now into this overtime in game number 1. Both of these teams probably white knuckle on their controllers, gritting their teeth right now. Gallium, who do you think has the upper hand at this point?
I think the Raptors have the upper hand so far, even though the motion. Oh my! Oh no! It's Megalodon. What have you done? I think the fake. You bit on the fake a little too hard, and that's going to be an overtime victory for the Raptors in Game 1.
Game number 1 going to the Raptors. Huge win for them, especially given that they were trailing through most of that game number 1. Motion was controlling the flow of the game, if you will, but Raptors able to pull it out there in the final seconds. What was there, like 1 second left whenever Boxel scored that tying goal?
Yeah, there was 1 second. And I have to say, this win was so massive for the Raptors. I think, honestly, to beat a team like Motion, who came out so strong and whose defense is just, I mean, considering the amount of shots that were put in net, their defense really held up. I think it's really important that they got this Game 1 win to really stake their claims as the top team and challenger right now. And if this Motion team wants to come back in any sort of fashion, I feel like they just need to step up the pressure a little more. Try to maybe get some counterattacks off that Raptors offense. I don't know if the Raptors really have the defense, the counterattack defense necessary to keep up with this Motion roster. So we'll see. But this shot gonna sneak on in from Inverse, and that's an early 1-0 lead.
That is very early. Motion taking the lead, the first lead in both Game 1 and 2, but it was a lot faster in Game 2. But a little bit, it looked like maybe some miscommunications coming out from the defense of Raptors there. They weren't expecting that long ball, but they got to start expecting it because Inverse has put like 2 or 3 on the net so far, and this is only game number 2 of the series. So that is obviously either I don't know if it's just, coincidence or if it's a tactic of Inverse, but I wouldn't be surprised these challenger players are pretty crafty when it comes to, mechanics. They're not quite Titan players, obviously. They're not rivals either. Boxel said, "I will be your rival," as he ties things up.
Oh my goodness. So unfortunate. The pass came out. The defender misses on that one, and Boxiel just put it in the back of the net. I will say, this Boxiel fella, he's looking really mechanical right now. I've noticed that he's just looking really solid, and I feel like every time the camera shows what he's doing something really mechanical, and I really liking what he's bringing to this Raptors team so far.
Yeah, I think that he has been a big proponent for the Raptors side, at the very least in this series. I'm not sure if quite sure if he's been there been with them the whole season or if he's new. I don't have that information. However, he is looking hot, and I'm sure the Raptors are glad to have him with them. As the first minute and 15 seconds is gone from game number 2, Smegalodon trying to get a big banger. Big C-Dubs back to get the touch. Boxel in the corner. Boxel sticking with it, but he can't get the touch. He's looking for a block. Gets a pass out, and Smeg is there. Picks it up and gets his first goal in this game.
The passing plays are beautiful. Blah to Smegalodon. And don't forget about Boxel on that play. That 50 was huge to send that ball into the midfield right where Blah could get it over to Smegalodon. Beautiful play, and now 2-1 here. It's looking pretty dire from for Motion at this point. Even though they're only down 1 in game 2, I mean, the Raptors are an amazing team. If you let them score another goal here, it's pretty much wraps, and Smegalodon making sure what I said is coming to life here.
Yeah, Raptors starting to actually show us why they have been dominating the Challenger League thus far. I mean, game number one, they're playing nothing like they did in game number one. They just kicked up the aggro like 10 levels. And I mean, personally, I'm loving it. I feel really bad for Motion. They need to step up their game a little bit here if they're going to expect to compete with a completely awakened Raptors roster. Big C-Dubs trying to do just that. Shot's not going to go. Inverse getting in there, trying to get the 50 through. But Smegalodon takes control. Smegalodon sticking with it. Inverse with the block. Big C-Dubs pops it up. Inverse is there, but he can't find the touch. Boxel's going to try and follow. It's cleared away by Egg Dip. And Blah sticking with it. Boxel's there. Tries to get the 50. Goes in favor of C. Big C-Dubs sticking with it out of the corner. Blah takes it away from him. Inverse pops it up. This could be dangerous for the Raptors, but Blah is there to send it back across the mid. Big C-Dubs to keep the pressure up for Motion. Egg Dip off the backboard. Inverse off the backboard. Big C-Dubs can't beat out the defender in time, and the ball is going to get cleared away with a little over 2 minutes left on this clock here, Gallium. And, man, Motion is just fighting tooth and nail, but Raptors are not allowing them to get any sort of sustained pressure.
Yeah, and I think the key difference here is both of them have the same amount of shots, except for that one that just went for the Raptors. So the Raptors have one more shot. But basically, the point I was trying to make is they both had 4 shots at the time that I was trying to make my point, and the Raptors have 3 goals. They're definitely taking these chances and they're running away with them. And that's exactly what you need to do with these quality chances. I feel like Motion just haven't taken enough advantage of their chances, and that's something that's so crucial, especially in the higher ranks. You got to take advantage of your chances because they're so few and far in between, especially with these good defenses, Psycho.
That's very true, and there's been several throughout the series so far, and in this game, several post shots coming out from Motion. To be honest, I think 2 alone in this game. If they had scored both of those shots, we'd have a tie ball game here going into the final 60 seconds. Inverse and Egg Dip gonna try and make the teamwork get something through, but it doesn't work out for them. But they don't get punished for the double. Smegalodon there puts it up in front of the net, and Boxel's gonna get it around the last defender. 50 seconds left on the clock. Raptors seeming unstoppable.
Yeah, the Raptors are really taking flight here as Boxel put in another one in the back of the net in this game. And I think something that's pretty funny is Blah, who's on top of the leaderboard, doesn't have a goal, but instead has 3 assists and 4 saves, which is absolutely ridiculous. Really just passing the rock, saving the ball. Blah is doing a lot behind the scenes, and I'm sure much appreciated, but C-Dubs making this a little questionable for the Raptors here late.
It's a good move for Motion. Not necessarily that it's going to save them, but it at least gets them out of the funk, gets them to a different groove, if you will, as they probably feel at least a little bit better about themselves in the final 40 seconds. Even if game number 2 is a loss for them, they still have a chance to get the reverse sweep off, so they need all the momentum going forward, but Blah gonna kind of shut that down a little bit. You know, that peg that they tried to raise, he's just trying to knock them back off it.
Yeah, the Polish decal really showing there, the World Cup decal. Beautiful strike, obviously. I think it was a little bit of a defensive miscue. I think they ran into each other. I think that's what caused the chance there. But again, just great strike, and we're just seeing the Raptors really start to pile it on here, and that's not what you want to see if you're a fan of Motion or in the Momentum org. And it's just looking really desperate for Motion at this point, and I think they just need to get a goal here. They need to get a goal to get at least some fragment of momentum as the clock is ticking down, and I think pretty sure the Raptors are going to win this one, Psycho.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking, well, actually, it's impossible at this point. Raptors are going to take game number 2, setting themselves up at match point. They only need one more. If they get the next one, they get the sweep on Motion, send Motion home just in a bad way. You hate to get swept, and you hate to see it. I mean, we want the content. We want the game 5. Motion, bring us back. I think that I don't think that they, Gallium, I know that they have it in them. They can do this. They just have to, I don't know what they have to do. Maybe you know what they have to do. You're a higher level player than me.
Okay, first up, I'm not that much of a higher level player, but I appreciate the compliment. honestly, Motion, they're looking pretty good on defense, but if you keep the ball in your zone, you're obviously going to create that immense field of pressure, and I feel like that they just need to go ahead and try to break that. I feel like that as a defense, they're playing too clumped together, and I feel like they just need to play spread out, get some wingers over on the sides, try to spread the ball down in the midfield, and try to get it into the opponent's end, really try to create some quality chances. Because I feel like they, despite of what the shots have said, I feel like some of the chances that were created weren't as quality as they could have been, and I feel like getting the ball in the midfield and getting it into that offensive zone will definitely help.
And that is gonna be the first goal coming out from, you know it, the man himself, Boxel, who's been pretty much just running things on this pitch tonight.
Oh my, it looks like an SSG passing play right there. That was beautiful stuff, and I think Blah got the demo there, and just honestly beautiful play from every single one of these Raptor members, and you could tell the confidence is just oozing from them as you see that beautiful save coming out from Boxel here. This whole Raptors roster is looking to really take Challenger by storm.
Yeah, and the double commit coming out from Raptors. And will Motion be able to capitalize on this? Egg not able to get it through. Looked like him and Smeg gonna fake each other out there. Boxel can't get the flip reset, nor does it get through the defense. Egg drip. Oh, dangerously and holding on to the ball in front of his net. Blah trying to get that ball through, but he does a good job 50 and keep it out. Inverse getting not the touch he's looking for, but a flip reset it looked like. Boxel going to take control in the midfield, flicks it past one, pops it up, sticking with the ball, the double commit. Raptors playing a little bit too fast for themselves, it seems. Either that or they're dropping comms. Maybe they're just like, hey, we got this win. It doesn't really matter. We can just chase at this point. But the long ball is going to punish them, all three being a little bit too far up.
Yeah, that ball was boomed out of a level 3 mortar from Clash of Clans, baby. Just sinking in the back of the net, and I feel like Inverse might have stolen that one a little bit. Might be a little bit of a discussion going on between them. I know I would be a little upset if somebody stole my goal, but again, I still, even with that goal, I still feel like Motion have not put enough quality chances on the Raptors' net. And we saw one earlier in the game, but since then, it's been kind of dry from their offense, and I think their offense is going to have to start going now more than ever here, Psycho.
Yeah, they really need to start playing like they did for most of Game 1, because they were hot and they were holding the lead and they were really threatening to the Raptors. But after that, it's like Game 2 was like, the Raptors just ran away with it, and the Raptors were able to pull things back in Game number 1 in the final seconds, so they really clutched up whenever it mattered. And that makes them extremely dangerous, especially where Motion has them right now at a tie ball game. This Motion roster is going to really want like a 2 to 3 point lead to feel comfortable against the Raptors. And as we enter in to the second half of game number 3, possibly the last game of the series, if Raptors are able to take the lead and hold it, or possibly Motion will force the game 4 and even possibly the game 5. You would love to see the potential reverse sweep for the content, as Boxel is going to bounce that one out. He's going to go for the boost and leave it, but he 50s against the Motion player in the midfield. Inverse getting it past Blah. Boxel there to take control of it. Boxel to stick with it. Demos big C-dubs and leaves. Inverse pops it up, beaks out Smeg. Boxel still back 50s with Inverse. Inverse going to go for the bump as he rotates out. Big C-dubs off the backboard, but Blah sends that one all the way down. It's not going to be on net, or that definitely would have went in. Boxel can't get it through the defense. Egg Drip going to clear it out to the midfield. Blah taking control, and the Raptors defensive zone looked like he was going for the bump play there, but he did not have enough boost, I would guess, as Inverse sends that one away. Boxel pops it up. Egg Drip is there. Motion looking to sustain some pressure here in the final 60 seconds. We still got a tied ball game, Gallium. But I got to say, Motion is looking a lot better than they did in game 2.
Yeah, honestly, they've started to pick it up a little bit, but if I'm being honest, I would just like to point out that I feel like if Raptors weren't double committing as much, or I feel like they're using a little too much with confidence, because I feel like they're just going for a lot of double commits here. I feel if they keep playing the same game that they played in game 1 or 2, this game would have been already over by now. But honestly, they're starting to play a lot more scared of this Motion team, and honestly, I don't really blame them. Motion's put in some quality chances on net, and not that chance, but they have put some quality chances. And as these last 15 seconds expire, it's going to be one heck of a finish.
It certainly will, or will we go to overtime? As Egg Drip pops it up, big C-dubs there, but can't beat out the defender. Blah taking control in the midfield, pops it away. The inverse just going to look to put this one down. Blah keeping it up. Smegs there off the backboard. The inverse sends it away, and it's going to touch down. Overtime, game number 3. This is a do or die scenario for Motion. And I got to ask, Gallium, what's up with that prediction? What do you think's about to happen right here? Is Motion going home?
Honestly, I think they're going home. I think they're going home in the sweep. I think they're going home in a to-go box from the Chinese takeout. I don't think they're making it any farther, unfortunately, but they are looking pretty solid right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they scored. But I feel like the Raptors are gonna have this as a Rocket League moment pretty soon here.
They might quite possibly. We will have to see. 30 seconds into this OT, as the ball's popped up, big C-dubs is there. Egg Drip back to Inverse. Inverse sticking with it. Gets a pop over one. The double commit coming out from Raptors defensively. Big C-dubs beats him out off the backboard. This could be dangerous for the Raptors. Block and a miss his touch. Egg Drip bounces it off the side. Smegalodon and Inverse going to fake each other out. Big C-dubs falling it out of the corner. Tries to get a bump on Boxel, but can't do too much with it. Egg Drip going to 50 with him. The ball is bouncing in the midfield. Inverse takes control of it up the sidewall. Sticking with it in the corner. Boxel to box him out. Ball is hit by Egg Drip towards the net. Blah's up to get in front of it. Raptors safe again. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Man, this is crazy so far. But I just feel like Motion's got the upper hand here, Gallium. Big C-dubs with the shot down, but Blah with a huge save. But I can't help but feel like Motion's just spent a little bit more time in the defensive zone of Raptors than they have, than the reverse scenario.
Honestly, with my Raptors prediction, I'm kind of regretting it now, as Motion has had... never mind. I take it back. I'm sorry, viewers at home. I didn't mean to jinx it. Sorry, Momentum Org. I apologize. As Megalodon, just going to pass it over to Blah. It's an easy finish. Quality goal. That's what we like to see from the Nemesis Gaming League. As it was a beautiful sweep from the Raptors, and just a great game all around. I could say so many just great things about this team, and honestly, the Motion roster on the other side of it has some great things going for them. I think they played really well, considering that they went against probably the top team in Challenger. I think they have a lot of good things going for them.
Yeah, certainly. Raptors staying undefeated, getting the sweep against Motion. Congratulations and hats off. They played their hearts out, especially at game number 2. They just went to town. But Motion putting up a really good fight in games 1 and 3. Just didn't have what it took to hand Raptors their first loss. But hey, it is what it is. Which team will be able to hand them their first loss is a good question that I'd like to know the answer to. What do you know any other teams that might possibly be able to stop the Raptors in Challenger, Gallium?
With my unbiased opinion, I'm gonna have to go with Flame. I think Shorts, excellent player, and I think the rest of that roster with Sodak and the boys are gonna take down Raptors. I'm calling it here, folks. I mean, it's gonna happen. Listen, if that game ends up getting streamed, just put your channel points all on Flame for that one.
Boom, there you go. You love to see the competition, especially the wholesome, both of those orgs just doing real good stuff. I love both of those orgs. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our second match of the night. We got one more coming your way. We're going to take a short break here. It might be shorter than normal. I'm not sure if this match, I heard something about maybe it's getting expedited up a couple of minutes to move things along. Maybe not. At most, we'll be back in probably roughly 10 minutes. Gallium, I want to thank you for joining me up here in the booth. It was a pleasure casting that game with you.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure casting with you, Psycho. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to this Challenger game, and I hope to see you for the next one.
Oh, yeah, and a quick couple shout-outs before we go. Shout out to Krippus, not only for being a Don and being a streamer and helping this thing just move along super smoothly, but also for the resub for 21 months now. And, of course, the Beast, not Rilo, with the resub for 8 months. Hey, man, appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody showing up. And after a quick break, we'll be right back with some more Rocket League.
Infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power, power. Infinite power. Infinite I got a headache, 'cause you've been running through my mind all damn day. The stilettos, they echo around my brain, driving me insane. Your body could build my grave with leather and lace. You take all my breath away with that face. 'Cause she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. I think she knows it. That she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. But if she ever asked, I would just drop dead, just drop dead, just drop dead, just drop dead. I think she knows she's making John Doe's everywhere she goes. Elvira inspired from head to toe, Tony meant to go. Your body could build my grave with leather and lace. You take all my breath away, that face. 'Cause she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. I think she knows it. That she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. But if she ever left, I would just drop dead, just drop dead, just drop dead, just drop dead. She's got all the boys pulling daisies, but she'll leave you pushing them all. The boys pulling daisies, but she'll leave you pushing them. Your body could build my grave with leather and lace. You take all my breath away, that face. 'Cause she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. I think she knows it. That she's drop dead gorgeous. I think she knows it. But if she ever left, I would just drop dead, just drop dead, just drop dead. walking on the moon. One moment to escape. You walking on the moon. Walking on the moon. I've never been there. All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been in.
Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our final match of the night as we are heading to, well, also our match of the night here on the 9:30. We have Melons versus Warhawks, a battle of the big dogs here, and I'm joined by the one and only Gallium / Charles. He's back in the booth here for the final matchup. Charles, how you doing here?
Oh, I'm doing amazing, Rocker Man. I just casted another Raptors match, and honestly, I enjoy watching the Raptors a lot. But you want to know who I enjoy watching even more, Rocker Man? I love the Melons. I'm a huge listen. Even though they beat us, and even though they made me sad, I love the Melons very, very much. Mostly because of their GM Kyle. Shout out Kyle, love you. But honestly, any game that I've been casting for the Melons has just been turned out to be a really good one. So I'm excited to see what we have in store, Rockman.
Yeah, and I mean, what we have in store is a great matchup here. We've got the two top teams in the Prospect League. Well, two of the top teams. You could argue Ember could be up there as well with a 6-1 record, but regardless, you get Warhawks at 7-0 taking on 6-1 Melons. I mean, this is what you hope for in an early season matchup. Charles, what can you tell us about these two teams? Maybe their season so far, and maybe about the rosters, and what do you got for us?
Okay, so on the Melon side of the ball, for the roster, they have Drips, Alpha, Vokes, and Adala. Adala last season was, instead of the sub, he was starting in the finals. Warhawks, they have Mitso, 5/3 Stupid, great name by the way, Marco Tugunki, and Jambles. And one interesting thing about these two teams is, for the Melon side, Alpha leads the league in goals by 3 goals. Dude has 32 goals. Absolutely insane. Also leads the league in wins, which is interesting. Just a little interesting stat for you there. But yeah, they have an absolute shooter on their team. And on the other side of the ball, the Warhawks do not have anybody in the top 15 for goals. So little interesting back and forth, but the Warhawks do have the better record. So I guess we'll see how they get those goals in the back of the net, Rockerman.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with Prospect General, and there were a couple people that were saying that the Warhawks had a cakewalk schedule to get to this point. So, I mean, they are 7-0 for a reason. They've won all their matches. Melons though 6-1, and like you said, they've got some good players. I recognize Vokes, a great guy and a good player, former rival way back. Obviously, boundaries have changed a bit, but and he's dropped down a little bit. So, for me, he's the one to watch out for. But Charles, we got him in the lobby here. The stream right now, they are predicting Warhawks in big fashion right here. It's 62,000 to 3,000. And in the chat there in the Discord, 33-16 in favor of the Warhawks. Are you rocking with the Nemesis community in this one, or the Melons pulling it off?
Nemesis community, you guys suck at voting for the winner here. It's Melons in 3. Melons sweep here, and I'm not just saying that to say that. The reason that they had a little bit of a stutter, I don't know if this is the reason why they were 6-1, is they didn't have Vokes, and Vokes is going to be the X factor in this game early.
Well, someone's coming that out of context, Charles. This is Nemesis community sucks.
Dang it!
Ad voting.
No!
Charles toxic. But
another scandal.
Another scandal for sure. And what might be scandalous is that ball going over the top of those cars and into the back of the net, but it doesn't really matter. The Melons are on top here, and we are getting things rolling. We talked a little about the rosters, but you can see I'm on the pitch here as we're into game number 1 of this best of 5. We got Vokes, Alpha, and Drips on the Melons, and then you got Warhawks, you got Marco, 5/3 Stupid, and Mitso. So definitely a battle of some Nemesis people that have been around. I think everyone except for Drips was in Nemesis last season, and maybe even Drips was a free agent at the end. I do not recognize their name, but I'm pretty sure all these guys were around, even the Prospect League or so. I think Vokes was the only one that's challenger, but a lot of great names here, Charles, and it should be a high octane matchup here.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what a shot. The only name that I actually don't recognize, that I haven't seen all season because we haven't played the Warhawks yet, is 5/3 Stupid. I haven't seen him in action. I think I saw him a little bit in the Combine as Marco is going to put that one in the back of the net and shut me up real quick.
Former Origin player here, Marco, last season, and he's a great player as well. And yeah, 5/3 Stupid, I believe they were on the Wyverns last season, if my memory serves correctly. So definitely a decent player. I don't think the Wyverns had the season they were looking for. Oh my gosh, 2 people whipping on the kickoff there. It's a prospect moment. Sure.
Yeah, there we go.
We're on the same wavelength there. We knew a prospect moment was happening. As here comes the overcommit from Vokes. The overcommit comes through. Vokes puts in his second.
Not 1, but 2 prospect moments in the span of 10 seconds. A little unfortunate there. The defense just kind of collapsed, and the Melons taking this early lead. If I were the Warhawks, I'd be a little scared, as Vokes is starting to heat up here. And you mentioned earlier that Vokes is a former Chally player. Like, the dude can fly, and we're former rival. Oh my gosh.
Way back. That was like season.
Way back. Okay, I was about to say, I was a little concerned. But yeah, he's flying around the pitch right now, and obviously he's gonna be that X factor, but I just feel like with him being the X factor, Alpha leads the league in goals still. Like, this team, I don't think the viewers even understand how stacked this team is. They're absolutely ridiculous, and I'm just excited to see how this Warhawks team is going to stack up against them, Rocker, man.
Yeah, I mean, so far, they've held their own really about 2 minutes into this game 1, and I mean, that's a great point there. Alpha, he was also a former Challenger player, actually was on Ascension in Season 4 on the championship-winning team. He was our sub, to be fair, but he was on a championship-winning team in the Challenger League, and now he's out here down in the Prospect League for the last 2 seasons, and done pretty well for himself. As this one, a little bit of a double commit comes through. So Melons trying to add to their lead here. Vokes is up, looking for a touch with 5/3 on the follow there. Vokes looking to find another one, but Mitso sends it up to Marco, who's blocked out. And Alpha looking for the follow, but still now things slowing down a little bit. We had a couple quick early goals here, a little bit of chaos. That's usually how it goes. Here comes a
no!
Almost found it, and that's something I've been seeing, Charles, in the early going here. Is another huge save comes through. Is these Warhawks, they are trying to find these passing plays on multiple occasions.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with how the Warhawks are playing. Even though they're down by a goal, they're still creating these opportunities, and that is going to be crucial to take down a team like the Melons. And they're giving each other passes that not normally prospect players would give. So I feel like that might throw off the Melons a little bit. And if this continues, I'm hoping to see a goal late in this game, and I can now see why they're undefeated if that happens.
Yeah, definitely. With a minute 30, Warhawks looking to get on the offensive here, as they actually lead this game in the shot department. Well, only by one there, actually two, excuse me. It's 5-3 in favor of the Warhawks as they're back on the attack. Mitso off the backboard looking for a follow, but no one quite ready for that one as Marco finds one touch, looking for another, shooting it towards the net. He finds the angle, he slots it home. Marco tying this game up.
My fellow PlayStation player. Beautiful stuff from Marco, just putting it right where it needed to be, that left corner shot, and Drips couldn't get to it. And that is a beautiful goal from Warhawks. They are pleasantly surprising me here. And a 2-2 game here with a minute to go. This is anybody's game here, Rocker Man.
It really is here, and I mean it's a battle. It's a battle right here. Right now it's been between Evokes and Marco who lead us when we talked about Alpha getting all the goals, but Evokes over here and Warhawks not really in that top 15 stat department, but they are undefeated, which, you know, maybe just goes to show you that they are a well-rounded team. Teams that can pop off at any time here. So we're under a minute now. And this one, next goal may just decide this game one winner in our match of the night. This ball popped off to the side. Alpha sending it down, looking for their touch. Can't find it. Marco gonna be dunked out by Vokes. This ball pops up. Drips trying to get to it, but I'm gonna throw that one just a little bit too wide. As now 30 seconds remaining. Vokes on the control here, looking to get something out, but this ball blocks. Right back to Drips. Drips on this one, trying to fake it under. Gonna get by one, looking for a second 50. That one only goes as far as the side. Is Alpha gonna dive in? Marco, last man back. Alpha looking for the dunk here. But now with 10 seconds left, it's do or die time. Goal or overtime here. This ball sent back in the Warhawk zone. 5/3 on the dribble. Looking to make something happen. Flicks it by one. Can't take it up again. Marco gonna pop this one up. It's going towards the backboard. Drips can't connect. The net opportunity, but the miss.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. It set up Charles for perfection there. Got to pass the last defender, but couldn't close the deal.
That is so unfortunate. I was actually about to say how much this is looking like a challenger game right now. I mean, these two teams are flying everywhere. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep track of. I'm not going to lie to you guys at home. But as we're seeing Drips go up here, I feel like Drips is a little unspoken player from this Melons team, and I'm seeing him do some work. But on the other side, 5/3 stupid as well, doing a lot of work for their team. I'm just seeing which player on the bottom of both leaderboards can possibly step up here, Rockerman, and get a huge goal.
Definitely, and a huge goal it would be here in this one. A battle of two of the best teams, looking for the best record in the Prospect League, potentially with a win here. Obviously, depending on the Ember result as well, but this ball popped up in the midfield. A little bit of a miss comes through there. A demo coming out as Drip's going to take control. Minute gone by in OT. In game number 1 of this best of 5, this ball up. Vokes has to avoid a demo. This ball gets out to the corner. Mitso popping it up, looking for a read here, but Alpha all over that one. Drips out of the midfield, going to get by another. Drips again with a touch. 5/3, last man back. An opportunity for Alpha to shoot it on the net, but 5/3, a great recovery there to get back. I did not think he was getting that one, Charles.
5/3 stupid, more like 5/3 smart. Am I right, everybody? What a save. That was absolute class. Yeah, I know. There's a shot coming in here. This might be a goal. Oh, it hits off the crossbar. Another shot. Oh my gosh, hits off the post. And yet again, they are stopped, not by the defense, but by the boundaries of the net, Rockerman.
We all know. We know all too well that the post, it can be your friend, it can be your enemy here. And oh my goodness, this ball going towards the net. Drips could be dunked out, but it only stays so far as the corners. These two teams are deadlocked here. Here comes a shot, but Drips, oh my goodness, what a save. These two teams, a defensive clinic as we're 2 minutes into overtime. No one could find the back of the net, and Drips, he has a double savior medal here on this one. He's got 2 of them to his name here with 6 saves.
Oh my goodness. I mean, talk about a shot, and what's even better is the save. He got up there, and he got up there quick, and this game is going to be so exciting. Very down to the very end. So tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister to tune into the Nemesis Gaming League channel to watch this unfold, because this is probably the most exciting game of the night.
may very well be, as another save comes out for Drips. Maybe he's looking for the Nemesis save record, which we'll have to get a fact check on what that is in one game. But here goes Mitso flicking it towards the net. Drips gonna find another touch. So we're approaching 3 minutes of OT. Drips can't connect. Can need help from the teammate. Alpha able to clear down 5/3. Gonna find a touch out of the corner. Vokes. Oh goodness, that is not going where he wants it to go. Drip's gonna make a save. No credit though, because it was hit by his teammate. But still, he is there to the task. Is now this one opening up, and Charles, I mean, it's been 3 minutes gone by. No one seemingly to get any space. Obviously, there's been a couple shots, but how is someone gonna break through in this overtime?
Honestly, the breakthrough is going to have to come with a mistake. I feel like a mistake is going to be costly here, as we're seeing a couple coming out here. So shot's going to come out. Almost got there, but an interesting thing about Drips having 7 saves is he's not even top 15 on saves in the season. So with this game, he's probably going to just absolutely shoot up the rankings here. And with this Melons roster coming in hot, I'm just on the edge of my seat right now, Rocker Man. This is gonna be one heck of a finish. Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, the saves are.
What is happening? What is happening?
Goodness, these two teams are putting on a clinic, and I have to say here, as Vokes, he's gonna make the save. The Nemesis save record in one game is 8 saves, Charles. There are 8. There are actually 8 players who have achieved that feat. No one has gone higher than 8 saves. So Drips, he's gonna make the 8th right there in Nemesis history. In this game here, is he has tied the Nemesis record in one game. Could break it with another save here. This one going back towards the net, but Alpha, he's going to get the save as he picks up a savior medal, and the Melons have put on a saving clinic here. They have 13 saves in this game, as we are still locked in this overtime, nearing a full game of OT here as we near the 5-minute mark. Just got to see who's going to break through. It's going to start becoming mental here in a second, Charles. A lot of the game can be mechanical, but when you start getting these long overtimes, you get to 5 minutes of OT. It's all mental. One mistake could do you in for the game.
Oh my! These mistakes they're small, but they could turn into a bigger mistake later in the game. 5 minutes. We have played 2 games of Rocket League, and not even one game has elapsed so far. And honestly, I'm just a little surprised that a team hasn't scored yet, but the defense looking very stout, and whoever wins this has such a massive advantage because the stamina used in this game is so crucial, and I think he has open net here. It's Vokes, and he's going to put this one away for the Melons.
And the hat trick to beat there is, you see 5/3 just get dunked out, and Mitso, he tries to make the touch, but Vokes all over it, and you know, for those loving Nemesis history, we did get it with Drips there, as you'll see on the scoreboard here. An absolute performance on the defensive end, and it leads to a win there, as he ties the Nemesis record there in saves with 8 in one game. That is wild there. And what else would you expect here, Charles, from our match of the night than 8 saves? That one in the Melons, a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, honestly, Warhawks had 19 shots on net. That is ridiculous. Melons only had 7, so little bit of compare and contrast there, but Melons made great chances of their opportunity. And as I said, I think I thought a mistake would be the downfall of either team, and I thought correctly because the Warhawks, I think they bumped into each other. 2 defenders bumped into each other, created that chance for Vokes. Vokes just drove it into the net like an elderly woman, and it's, game 1 win for Melons. And for the Warhawks, they're still in a great position to take this series. They're looking absolutely outstanding. They're looking good, or if not better, than this Melons team so far, Rocker Man.
Yeah, and I mean something, Charles, that we talked about it at the end of this game 1, as we get into Urban Central on game number 2 here, this best of 5. But something we talked about was the mental to survive that long of an overtime. One mistake does the Warhawks in there, and now, Charles, going into this game 2. How would you be bouncing back here if you are the Warhawks, knowing that, hey, you just lost a heartbreaking 5-minute overtime? You had, like you said, I think 19 shots on the net there, and they saved them all. How do you mentally bounce back after a loss like that?
If I were their captain and I were sitting there, and this is the first time I'm ever going to say this, and probably ever going to say this, don't change a single thing about what you're doing. These shots are taking so much out of the defense. And honestly, there is like 4 or 5 of those shots that definitely could have been goals. and those goals were not on the stat sheet, and that's where it costed them. Oh my goodness, it's Vokes, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Vokes has arrived.
Vokes is here as he's put his 4th in of this series, shooting that one to the back of the net, 5/3, just not in time, giving a little too much space to Vokes, who is, like we talked about, former rival seasons ago, but still a really great player, moving down from Challenger last season. I believe Samurai on last season, who had actually one of the worst records in Nemesis history, unfortunately. But Vokes, he's stepping up here in Prospect, and I mean just a performance so far, really putting his team up here. We thought it was going to be Alpha scoring all the goals, but it's been Vokes.
No, yeah, Vokes has been really stepping it up here, and I think Alpha needs to put in some work. I know, as you just saw there, is a very mechanical player. I actually spoke to him before this game, and he is very nice, and I feel like he has this confidence about him, and I feel like we're going to need to see that confidence right now as the pitch going down. Vokes can't get the finish, and Trips unfortunately bites on that, but yeah, the confidence is going to have to come out from Alpha as the counterattack's going to come out. I feel like, honestly, not individually, but as a team, I feel like both these teams need to start gaining a little more confidence on the ball. Try to maybe do a little bit of solo plays, because I love the passing plays, but I mean, as we're seeing here, it's every play, and these defenses are too good for that. You gotta absolutely hit a clip of the week. That is what's gonna have to happen to score a goal here, Ruggerman.
It may just be is this one floating in front of the net, and that's the one thing. It is possible to actually pass too much, and can leave you in a bad spots. As Mitso looking for a touch here, 5/3 trying to come through. That ball just bouncing off there as Alpha gonna take it by a defender as we approach halfway here. These two teams very used to the deadlock feeling here after we saw that 5-minute overtime in game number 1. We saw the Melons take a victory there, and now Warhawks still looking to bounce back. Drip sending this one down the field, but Mitso back in the corner in time. Vokes shooting this one on net. Mitso, another save here as he picks up a medal of his own. The Melons really kind of putting the pressure on, and things have turned from the last game, Charles, as we're down to the final two minutes of this game here. Melons 7 shots to 3, so they've turned on the pressure.
Yeah, and let's just hope for their sake that it's not a complete reverse of the last game, where even though they're up in shots, they go down by a goal. But they're looking great here, and honestly, I think the Warhawks are looking great as well. I honestly cannot pick out a single player from both of these teams that is poorly performing right now, as they're giving everything on the line, and I think that's exactly what you need to see from this game. This game is huge. Oh my goodness. He was coming in there like a level 4 wall breaker and couldn't get it done, Rocker Man.
The Clash of Clan references are coming out here tonight, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Last match, you got one here, so maybe Charles trying to get us a sponsor of Clash of Clans. Respect. Shout out Clash of Clans.
I'll plug my clan afterwards, guys.
There you go. Scoring down to it. Here comes a shot, but folks, another save. He picks up a save your middle now on that end, as Alpha gonna find another save here and send this one down. Under a minute remaining, the Warhawks, they are trying, and they have just racked up a bunch of shots in quick succession as they have tied this game up in the shot department, but they have yet to do the most important thing, which is tie it up in the goal department. As we're under 40 seconds remaining, Charles, and they got to turn it on now. You do not want to have to put yourselves in reverse sweep position here.
No, absolutely not. But with the Warhawks here, I feel like one of these players is going to have to just play out of their minds right now and get past these defenders, because, as we see a ball just trickle past the defense there, but one of these players has to make a play. They're working great as a team. Both these teams are, actually. And I think with that great team play, you have to have that one player who you can rely on to score goals in these clutch moments. And as this clock's winding down, I'm wondering who that player is going to be.
Oh, and this one on the goal line Drips. He's going to find the dagger there with 2 seconds remaining. And that is going to do it here for this one, more than likely. Unless we saw an absolute miracle. It looks like it's the Melons' way here, and they should have a 2-0 lead in the series.
I don't know if this would even be possible. I mean, the ball would have to travel at like crazy speeds for this to even be possible. And at this point, it's not possible. Melon's taking this game number 2, and my predictions looking pretty good here. But honestly, regardless of my predictions, the Warhawks are definitely a team to be reckoned with. And honestly, I'm kind of scared of them. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Warhawks, if you're watching this back, I'm terrified of you guys. Please, I honestly hope, for my sake and your sake, that we just forfeit, because I don't want to play you guys, to be quite frank, as they just looked absolutely outstanding there. And it's not like individual prowess, and you saw it. Like they were just giving each other passes, that they're working cohesively as a team. And I mentioned it earlier that none of them are top 15 in goals, and I feel like that's because they spread the ball around so much. As with the Melons, they have, you know, Alpha and Folks, who I think Folks is sitting out a couple of games. I don't really know the deal with him, but Melons and Warhawks have 2 different chemistries, but I think going against each other, clashing with each other, is it's gonna be it's gonna be a really tight one down the stretch.
Yeah, and I mean the games they've been close. I mean that game was a 1-goal game all the way up until 2 seconds remaining, where the Warhawks, they kind of had to sell out on the offense, got killed on the counterattack, and that's how they dropped down 2-0 in that game and 2-0 in the series. And now, as we head into game number 3 on Utopia Coliseum, we got to see what the Warhawks are made of. They've been 7-0 on the season, you know, trying to stay perfect here, but they are going to need some magic to make that happen. As the Melons, they have looked great. They've been great on the defense. They've been great on the offense. It's been a whole lot of Vokes on all ends here for the Melons. And again, like you said, Charles, we got to see who is going to step up for this Warhawks roster. Who is going to be that, you know, that character that's going to put something in, and it's going to be Marco to start things off. As I asked for it, we shall receive.
Oh my goodness, the PlayStation player coming in clutch, and pink has never looked so good, as the ball is just going to sneak into the back of the net. You know what? I just think this is a sign. You know, everybody should just get PlayStations if you want to be the best players in the game. I mean, listen, don't ask me.
This is Prospect League. This is Prospect League, Charles. I mean, you know.
No, it's fine. I'm sure there's a PlayStation Titan player out there. I'm sure of it. I'll have to find it.
We take L's actually. Used to be a sign-it for the longest time, and then he got a PC and jumped up 200 MMR, even though he's already that high. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, 2 L's do make a W, Rocker Man, and let's hope that that Warhawks can kind of follow that saying, as they're honestly they're looking pretty solid here. Obviously, with the 1-0 start, going great, but I feel like they're gonna have to be even more aggressive. If I were them, I'd want to go up by 3 before I start really playing a defensive game. And honestly, at that point, I don't even think I want to change up my strategy, because you're putting so much pressure on them that they can't counterattack as well as you would like. And honestly, I have nothing else to say. I mean, these 2 teams are they're blowing my mind right now. I'm sure all the viewers at home can agree.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing really good for the Prospect League, and obviously 2 of the best the Prospect League has to offer. And like you said, they've been playing solid games here. It's hard to say. I mean, both of them have been close here. Just have gone the Melons' way on a couple of occasions, like one mistake here or there, and that's completely changed things. And now, so we're into game 3 here. The Warhawks got to do or die here. So they're shooting this one towards the net. Alpha back in time. They still find themselves in front. Can they add to the lead here? You obviously don't feel comfortable with only a 1-goal lead, but here comes an opportunity for Mitso. Shooting it towards the net. Nice play there. Mitso find in the back. It's 2-0, and that does feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, kind of confused why his name's Mitso 2 Washed, as he just put an absolute banger in the back of the net. This 2-0 lead still would not get comfortable. You more than half of this game has to be played out, and you know this Melon team is very capable of scoring clutch goals, and I expect to see at least 1 or 2 goals going in the back of Warhawks' net if Melons summon their inner game 1 and game 2, Rockerman.
I mean, with the way this game has gone, I would not be surprised either. But we'll have to find out as we're past halfway point, and a huge team bump comes through, and the Melons have an opportunity. Drips. Oh my goodness, Drips.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been a clip of the season there, Charles. It could have been goal.
Oh my gosh.
Material. He was that close, and I mean,
That
wow,
was-
that is impressive. To be that close. Obviously, it didn't go in, but to be that close in
Ah.
Prospect League is, oof.
Yeah, that was almost a Rooney moment there. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's kind of a shame that he missed that. I kind of wanted to see that one go in, but as we have a minute and 50 seconds here, Melons, you can tell they're getting a little bit desperate here. You can see all three of them are just forming a single line of strikers here and trying to get this one past the Warhawks, and I feel like that they should not be doing that personally, because I feel like you have to have at least one defender to create that backwards pressure, maybe get a clear out. But you know what, Melons, you just do you. Obviously, since you guys beat us, I shouldn't tell you guys what you need to be doing. But you know what, Melons, you just do what you got to do. Take out Warhawks, or at least try to. But this Warhawks team, I don't think they're going down that easily. I honestly think I'm reversing what I said earlier, and I think this is going to be taken to a game 5.
It honestly could be. And I think the one thing you kind of mentioned as we're down to a minute, the Melons maybe changing up their play style a little bit, being a little bit over aggressive here. Even early on when they had time left in this game, really trying to push to get something back. And I think that's possibly the difference. Between these two teams is the Warhawks, they didn't seem to change their style really at all, which is what you recommended, and I agree with as well. As their style was playing well, and first 2 games it didn't work out in their favor, but now it is working in their favor as they are looking to send us to Forbidden Temple for game 4 as the Warhawks look to mount the reverse sweep, but gotta hold on here with 30 seconds remaining. It's the Melons in the midfield, drips, looking for the shot, the net caught open, and Warhawks, they just let that one go by.
Little bit unfortunate there. I think the Warhawks got caught lickety-lacking there on that one, and 2-1. Little bit of a bad look for the Warhawks here, because the Melons can do some damage, but honestly, defensively, the Warhawks have looked outstanding. I think this one's going to be a goal. Never mind. What a save from Alpha. And this game down the stretch is going to be a doozy. Right as I say that, 5-3 stupid is making me look stupid, Rockerman.
Yeah, they find the answer back, and right when you thought, the Melons might be able to sneak this back, send it to an OT, 5-3 says, hold up a minute, we gotta shut this down right here, right now. And with 18 seconds remaining, the Warhawks, oh my goodness,
What?
not again, no, what are these kickoffs?
Please.
That's the second time in this game. These are the 2 best teams in Prospect, Charles.
Is this like a prospect thing? Is this...
Just missed the kickoff? It's a strategy.
Yeah. No, listen, if people in higher ranks use it, I mean, I might have to start using that too, utilizing it to my advantage. As the ball's going to drop here, and it's going to be a Warhawks victory. Big win for them. If they find a way to reverse sweep this Melons team, they are by far the best team in Prospect, and I think, honestly, with that undefeated record, with 8-0, I feel like you would pretty much almost, I don't want to jinx them, but almost guarantee them being in the playoffs, because you would have to lose every single game in a row and you would still maybe have a chance of like the divisions work out. So I mean, these Warhawks are setting themselves up in a really good position here to maybe get a reverse sweep, hopefully keep their playoff hopes, clinch a playoff berth here, as I'm not honestly entirely sure if they made the playoffs last year, but I'm sure they're absolutely ecstatic with their performance so far, Rockerman.
Yeah, both of these guys did actually make the playoffs last season. We saw the Melons go to the grand finals, and Warhawks, they made Nemesis history in a bad way. I believe they were the first team ever to get perfect swept in a best of 7. So they got swept by the Gladiators in the first round, but that doesn't matter this season. They are 7-0, and they are scoring first here, looking to build the momentum to get to Game 5.
That is absolutely crucial here. A little bit of a mistake, and I feel like, just honestly, if there was a book written about this game, I feel like the main takeaway that you're going to want to take out of this book is the mistakes. The mistakes have been costing both teams. One team more than the other, as a shot almost trickled in there. A little confusing. But the mistakes, honestly, are going to cost you the biggest, and we're just seeing the Melons playing a little slower than they have. Oh my gosh. This is getting a little scary for the Melons here, as the Warhawks are putting on immense amounts of pressure, Rockerman.
Yeah, they really are here, and it's a difference. I mean, well, it really isn't a difference from Game 1, but where we saw the 19 shots come through from the Warhawks, but it ended up in a loss for them. And they've just kept their same offensive pressure, and, through time, it's broken the Melons, and it's all Vokes left back 5/3. Gonna get a weird touch to pop it up and keeping the Melons corner, but the Melons gotta try to ring back this one. Oh my goodness, almost 50s through, but Marco, he couldn't quite find the angle on net, and Alpha trying to punish them for overcommitting, but some really close opportunities here. And for the Melons' sake here, Charles, I feel like, you know, it's only game 4, but I feel like the momentum is completely swapped the other side here as the Warhawks are just put on every single thing that they want to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the case here. Is they've just been pink flashes of light sparkling across the field, Rockerman. And honestly, it's just looking great from them. 5 shots so far. We haven't even reached the halfway point. We're not really that close, but it really 5 shots for them it means a lot, especially considering how good this Melons defense is. I think 5 shots is equal to a goal usually against this Melons team, and if they want to score more against this Melons team, I feel like they're gonna have to get a lot of shots, and that's exactly what we're seeing from them so far. Recommend.
Really is, and it's the strategy. It looks like this is how the Warhawks play. They are going to bombard you with shots, and they are going to keep doing it. No matter what the series score is, they are going to put on as many shots as physically possible. And, you know, for their sake, hope it works as 2 whiffs come through. Looks like trying to find an angle there for the Warhawks, but still, as we approach halfway on Forbidden Temple, the Melons trying to answer back. Alpha off the backboard. Awkward here. Drips coming through.
Oh!
Shot in. Drips has been huge as well this series, and no bigger shot than that one right there to tie things up.
I think Mitsa might have got caught in the goalpost there. He was kissing the goalpost under the mistletoe there. A little unfortunate. But honestly, Drips with that shot, honestly, he didn't need to do all that, but I'm kind of glad he did. It was a very nice shot. And this Melons team, even though they haven't been looking the greatest on offense so far, they have a chance to take all the Warhawks' hopes and dreams away from them in an instant.
Yeah, they can. 1 goal will just completely change this series up here. If the Melons can put it in, is this one dangerous? Marco with a huge touch, but here comes Vokes. Mitso just in time to get that one away, as that one could have spelled disaster. And now it's really the Warhawks here who feel like they may be on the back foot now, as 2 minutes remaining here. They still need to find a goal to force a game 5 and possibly a reverse sweep here, as they look to remain undefeated. Marco blocking this one up. Another huge dunk comes through, but a little bit too wide as Drips gonna find a touch off to the side. This ball popping up now. Here comes 5/3. Feather in the boost, but not much to work with. Gonna get it by 2 defenders actually though, but that one gonna be blocked up in the midfield. And Charles, the Warhawks, they put some suffocating pressure on there for a moment, really trying to force a goal through it.
Yeah, they've really been trying to. They're honestly just trying to punch and hopefully get that knockout. And I think that's what we're going to need to see from both of these teams, actually. I think these defenses have been absolutely outstanding. And even when these defenses have made a mistake, they've recovered quickly, effectively. And oh no, Marco, please don't do it to him, please. I'm begging. Oh my gosh. No!
What?
Oh! I don't. I'm leaving. What? What? There's. Why would he do that? Why would you do that? Do you hate your team? Do you hate your team, Marco? You could have literally saved that away and costed your team a goal there. I'm just so confused. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe clip of the week, but oh my gosh.
It still might be, as that one finds the back of the net. Some chaotic moments. The squishy save of his teammate almost comes through, but it ends up being a squishy save pass right back to the shooter. So hey, you know, for the Warhawks, hey Charles, it is Forbidden Temple after all. So what do we really expect there? A Forbidden Temple moment, as we are down to it now. 30 seconds remaining. The Melons trying to avoid being forced to a game 5. This ball finds the midfield. Drips taken up to the corner. Melons gotta find something here to force OT. Drips up. Alpha looking for a touch but can't find it. This ball's still in the Warhawk zone. A huge bump comes from Alpha, but the ball still cleared back in the Melon zone. Drips popping it up. Final 10 seconds now. Vokes for the shot towards the net, but 5/3. A huge save. Able to get that one away as the Melons trying desperately to find something here. This ball up here. Vokes off the corner. This ball floating. touch to the corner. Marco trying to get it down, and it will go
my.
down. And we are going to a game number 5. The reverse sweep is on here, Charles. The Warhawks, they battle back. Some chaotic moments, but we have a reverse sweep possibility here to remain undefeated.
Oh my gosh, this is one heck of a storyline. Warhawks have come back and really just shown how resilient of a team they are. I mean, the amount of drive that you have to go down in overtime, basically playing 2 games. The first game, it was like a 5 or 6 minute overtime. Second game, barely lose, and that third game, starting off fresh, you basically have to win 3 in a row, and that mentality that you have to win 3 in a row can crush teams at times, but the Warhawks have shown that they are here to party, ladies and gentlemen, and grab out your piñatas because we're about to have one heck of a bash. This game 5, Rocker Man, you excited?
Oh, I am very excited here as this series has given us all we've needed here as we can get the game 5 alert out here, get the
Content.
emotes rolling. The content is here as the Warhawks, like you said, they went down in in an insanely close to game number 1 there, Charles. I mean, 5-minute overtime. Drip's tying the Nemesis record for saves in one game with 8. Now there's gonna be 9 people at least that have had 8 saves in one game. And I mean, the series, I mean, the Melons, it looked like they had it, and then game 3, it just seemed like it turned a little bit in their favor, and then game 4, we just saw, Charles, where Warhawks, they had the lead, lost the lead, and then got the lead back, and then ended up winning. So I mean, really, it's been a back and forth series, and now we head to game 5. I mean, where does the momentum lie here?
Honestly, I think the pendulum has swung back and forth, but I think for this game, it's right in the middle, Rocker Man. If you have the right mentality, you can take this game, and it's anyone's game. As 5/3 is just gonna put one. Oh, what a save! Oh my goodness, almost an amazing save, and I mean the momentum coming from that last game. Warhawks gonna strike early here, Rocker Man.
Oh my goodness, and what a save. I thought for a second there we were going to see some more Melons magic on the goal line, and we did for a second, but the Warhawks feasting right now, trying to battle back for this reverse sweep. They're trying to get back to 8-0 on the season and keep their perfect record intact. It's this ball out in the corner, going to be sent down to the side here, and this ball hanging around 5/3. Gonna send it back in, but Alpha gonna take it up to the side. And Charles, in these game 5 scenarios, it's so crucial to find that first goal here. I'll say it till the end of time, but finding that first goal, just especially I think in the context of this series is so big for them. As here comes 5/3. Oh my goodness, what a flick! And at 5/3, we weren't sure how much they were gonna step up in the earlier games, but that one, a huge shot.
That is ridiculous to come out with that game 5 to shoot it top. I mean, listen, to shoot it top corner game 5, that is ridiculous. And this Warhawks team is looking hungry, and the Melons are looking quite delicious right now as a 2-0 lead. It's still not over yet, as the Melons are looking to maybe trade blows with the Warhawks going down the stretch here, Rackerman.
Yeah, I mean, with the way this one's been going, I mean, the Warhawks, they've got the momentum, and I mean, the battle back has been insane. But with this much time left in this game, the Melons definitely can battle back. And we've seen them; they've had their performances, but they have just been missing in these last 2 games here. Just the same spark that they had is just not there. As here comes it.
Oh
Marco
no!
puts it in. Another goal for him, and it's 3-0 Warhawks.
Oh boy. You do not want this game to start getting a little out of hand if you're the Melons. If you let one more goal come the way of the Warhawks, it is going to be an insanely hard task, and it's already a hard task as it is 3-0. But if you let that 4th goal in, it's going to be basically, I'm not going to say wraps, but oh my goodness. Are we going to listen, Rockerman. Here, Rockerman, come here for a second. Are we gonna see Brazil here? Maybe. Could we see Brazil? Do you think?
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh,
But
okay.
you never know. You never know what's gonna happen here. So with
Sorry.
with 4-0 Game 5, the Warhawks, they look poised, ready to take this reverse sweep. But hey, I mean, crazier things have happened here. And the Melons, there are no slouches here. But here comes a down shot just off target. That could have been it for Vokes. As this ball is still dangling around in the midfield. Vokes side flip. But that one.
Oh,
And
no.
so just trying to turn it on. He's gonna put it in, and they are putting on a clinic. The floodgates are opening. It's 5-0 in Game 5.
Oh my goodness. This is possibly the worst start I think the Melons could have imagined. Down 5 goals with 3 minutes left. Absolutely insane. And you want to know an even crazier stat? The Warhawks have 6 shots. They've scored 5 out of 6. Absolutely ridiculous. And the Melons only have 2 shots, but 0 goals to put their name. Never mind. Caster Curse is Vokes gonna be that X factor, hopefully, for his team later down the stretch, Ruckerman.
I mean, Vokes huge with that hat trick in Game 1 that led to that 5-minute overtime victory, and we need to see more from Vokes here in this one, and they got one back. And you know, that's all you can do here when you're down in, you know, a seemingly insurmountable amount of goals there. Is this one back in? Vokes dropping down. He has an opportunity for Marco. Good read off the backboard. And as we approach the halfway, the Melons, they just got to try to chip away here, Charles. If they can get, you know, another one here close to this halfway point, it's more than doable to try to find 3 in the latter half.
Yeah, I completely agree. Finding those 3 goals, or sorry, 4 goals rather, is going to be a little bit of a difficult task, and this is not going to help. This is not going to help at all. So, Rockerman, you remember how I was saying the possible Brazil here? Is it looking better for you? You think?
Oh, I mean, you know, the odds are in your favor now. As,
Okay, that's good. That's good.
The odds are in the favor here. Is it's 6-1. The Warhawks, they are fighting for this reverse sweep after dropping the first 2 games, and they are looking solid here. But 2 minutes remaining. Can't give up hope yet. Especially if you're the Melons, you gotta keep fighting here. Gotta hope for, you know, a miracle here. It's gonna take something. Oh, and that was almost it for folks. He can't find the net, and they need opportunities like that. You know, as lucky as they may be to find a 50 right into the net, they need him to fall here if they're gonna want a chance. And that one not going their way. A shot attempt going up off the post there, but gonna be saved away. And now with 2 minutes remaining, it's looking rough here, Charles. They need a Hail Mary, a miracle, anything for the Melons.
I would like to take this time now to apologize to the Nemesis chat for saying that you guys don't know about predictions. Because, as Vokes is gonna, or Alpha's gonna sneak one in. A little bit of a misdirection there. Is 6-2 now, Rockerman. You seeing any sparks coming from Melons?
Maybe a minute 33. They need 4. I mean, that's 1 at least. So, they need to find one quickly though. And you know, Charles, they might be getting back at you after your prediction. But wait a minute, Trips finding another one. And hold up a minute, folks. 3 goals in a minute and a half. And that is more than doable here. It's Trips a huge shot here for the Melons. And wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. And it's gonna be that scoreline later in the game. If this keeps continuing for the Warhawks, if they let this slip, I honestly, if they let this slip, Rockerman, are you gonna do anything for the viewers at home? Maybe like put on makeup for a stream or something crazy?
No, but we will. I will shave my head. Just kidding. I will not
You'll
shave
shave your head. All right, you heard it here, folks. All right, Nemesis chat. All right, we have a shaved head on the line, guys.
Remaining. We'll have to see as Melons, they've got to turn this thing around here. They need another one quickly if they're going to want a chance. And just Alpha trying to get back this ball up. A shot, but it's going to go off the post. But still can't find it. Drips looking out for Alpha. Looking for the shot. He can't find it. You need to put that one on target. You need to find a follow high off the backboard. Here comes Vokes looking for it. But it's not going to go as that one back into their zone here. And with 30 seconds remaining, 3 goals looking nearly impossible here, and the Warhawks probably, well, wait a minute here, a shot going off the backboard, another follow-up attempt, Alpha trying to find it again off the backboard, and the touch is going to come through and clear it away, and that was probably the last hope, and probably the dagger here. The Warhawks, Charles, they are going to prove you wrong. You're going to be clipped and sent that clip about how they don't know about predictions and how the Melons are going to 3-0 sweep, and you're going to eat the words, I guess, as the Warhawks reverse sweep the Melons here, and they are going to stay undefeated 8-0.
Well, they can't send me the clips if I banish myself from Nemesis as
Well,
the
they could
Warhawks.
still. They'll find you.
That maybe just like get in my like address and just like sending me. That'd be crazy. So Warhawks gonna get this one. Absolutely phenomenal game from. I just honestly can't say they fought, and I think I was keeping such a close eye on them the whole series because even when they lost one, it kind of felt like they should have won one. And the Warhawks, they're a scary team. Best team of prospect, hands down. I think they're going to be contenders later down the stretch, and even now they're contenders. They're absolutely ridiculous. You guys have a great team. Keep up the great work. And Melons, unfortunate loss, but I honestly saw a lot of great things from the Melons today. I think they have a high octane offense, high caliber offense, and also that defense was looking great as well. Honestly, if Melons were facing anybody but the Warhawks, I think they would have won this one, Rocker Man. I don't know about you, but I think the Melons have a lot to look forward to for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams got to be looking like two of the best in prospect for sure, and they proved it here with the reverse sweep and impressive performance. So we'll see. I guarantee you, obviously the teams haven't clinched yet, but I guarantee you we will see these teams down the line in the postseason going at it at some point. Maybe we will have to see, but yeah, congratulations to Warhawk on the reverse sweep. We've got to do a couple of shout outs here to our premium members before we end off the stream. So we can get that up there and we'll give a couple of shout outs. There's been a lot of support here recently for the premium members in the Discord. If you guys are interested, there are a lot of cool perks, including access to advanced stats. You can sit in on manager meetings. You can even be added to our raid list after the stream. So if you're live, you can get hosted there. You can see all the people who have supported us this month on the stream there. Shout out to our Challenger Plus subscribers, Chunklight, DJ, Parallax, Sodak, Rogue, Rilo, Speed, Crip, and Valence. And again, shout out Crip for streaming tonight and putting in the work as a streaming lead to make sure the stream happened. And shout out to all the casters as well for supporting us. And yeah, shout out to everyone for supporting us. We're almost to 1,900 followers on Twitch as well. We're only 9 away right now. So if you guys haven't, follow the channel. We're pushing to 2,000 followers on Twitch here. So feel free to push that follow button, get notified anytime we go live. We stream every Monday and Wednesday, and even on Saturdays, tournaments, other events there. So you can follow the channel and get notified anytime we go live, and you can be in on this action. And who knows, we can see some more crazy games like that again, Charles, if you follow the channel.
Yeah, absolutely crazy game. And honestly, depending on how our game plays out, which is actually starting a little bit, it's going to be the standings are going to be a little lopsided here, Rocker Man. It's going to be a little crazy of a week.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But that's going to wrap it up here for us tonight. Thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll be back possibly this Saturday. I don't know if I haven't seen if we had a tournament event announced yet for this Saturday, but we might be able to get some sort of event going on Saturday. Otherwise, we'll be back with league play action on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, actually a little before 8 p.m. Eastern to reveal the player of the week for this past week. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Otherwise, have a good night, everyone, and take care.